In every culture I've had the opportunity to visit, there are words that go before other things. Yes? So I would like to ask if you have any words to offer before would be appropriate to offer at this point before we get into any kind of discussion.
Well, thank you for that opportunity, and I thought I was just going to come in and have a seat with everyone else. And I would like to say welcome, and I'm really interested in how people are going around the world sharing what's in their heart and their spirit about what common unity is, community, all this understanding or this echo that calls to each and every one of us inside our spirit, that maybe takes us on a journey of getting back to nature and getting back to indigenous cultures, indigenous ways. We're very fond of saying that we're all indigenous people of this earth. We're all one tribe. If you have a heartbeat, then we're all members of the same tribe. So here in this Cherokee, I'm Yona FrenchHawk, by the way. I'm a full-blooded member of the Eastern Band of Cherokees across the mountain here. I am a spiritual leader here in the community. I do ceremonies and rituals, and I also work on behalf of my tribe in education of keeping our language and our culture and our stories and music. I'm also a singer and a storyteller, and live here in Asheville as well. And there used to be a church right next door called Jubilee Community, which is a creation spirituality church. And I'm a minister there as well. We're over at Rainbow School in West Asheville now. So there's been a lot of activity surrounding acknowledging the land and the people that have been there before. And we Cherokee do that as well. We understand that there were others here before us, the tree people and the plants and the animals and all of those that we can honor, the water that lived on this land and has nurtured our people forever. And in this time of coming back into a regermination or regenerative state, coming out of hibernation during this solstice time, it's important that we're starting to wake up. You know how you kind of feel whenever you wake up from a long sleep and you just kind of, I think that's kind of where we are in our awareness and in our growth energetically. And whenever we start getting back in tune with indigenous rhythm, not rhythm of a calendar or one of these things here. When we get back into the rhythm of calmness and peace and that serenity that we can find in ourselves, which I like to think of that people might refer to as Christ consciousness or that God self-awareness, the awareness, whatever the fill in the blank, whatever makes sense to you. I'm not here to name it for you, but that euphoric state of understanding that you are in balance with the vibration of the life around you because you've surrounded yourself with like-minded people. And once we come together in common unity, community, we help heighten that vibration. That's so I'm thank you for coming and helping to do this and to be in this setting as well, to kind of bring all this cosmic universal energy into this moment, because your surroundings are just as important as anything else that might be obvious in front of you. Because these pieces are done with spirit and energy, and they tell a story and they bring it whenever they're listening as well and they're watching. So let's be aware of that. Like I said, we Cherokee, we honor those that came before us as well. You know, the animal spirits and the plant spirits and the life around us. And listening to the stories that the wind and the trees, whenever they combine their voices together of what the land tells us, maybe what it needs or wants, I don't know. It's up to you to listen. And I think that's where we're coming back to whenever people want to. Indigenous, I'm just happen to be a Cherokee. I just happen to come from a tradition. I'm not the foremost authority on anything other than just being me. And I just happen to be Cherokee, and I happen to come from an old place where my people have been loyal and stewards of this land, these mountains that we were given to watch over and to be in balance and harmony. And we have a story about the crystal lake that lives here under these mountains that at one time, all the living beings came, all the living beings of earth came, and they sat in circle, and they sat and energetically envisioned the future. And as they individually began to envision the future, some of the trees cried, and the cloud people came, and they cried tears in the rain and form of rain, and all the animals and the plants, and they came and they gave prayer, and they saw and envisioned for the future, and some cried out of joy, and some cried out of sadness because they saw all the things that were going to happen in the course of time. And as they cried, their tears formed a lake. And as they continued to pray, the wind came from the north, and the wind was so strong and so cold that it froze the lake. And then the wind continued to blow, and it raised the mountains that are now here that we call home. So we believe that whenever people come here to Asheville, I've had so many people tell me, Yona, I don't know why I'm here in Asheville. I just know I had to be here. I just did everything I could to be here. To the Cherokee, it's because that vibration that lives inside that lake under these mountains vibrate with the prayers and the visions of the harmony and the visions and the tears and the laughter of all of those that have come before. And that's why we honor this land. That's why we honor all land of all people that give honor to what is to us the most precious thing that we have, which is our mother. Mother Earth, first and foremost. And we're all citizens of this earth. We're all heartbeat. We're all one tribe. We all see one light. Whatever names you have for it, or whatever your path may take you. Thank you. Thank you for this junction and meeting in time.
Thank you.
In a good way.